Good morning, students. We have completed Robert Lynn and we are now coming to the next writer or next essayist. We have A.G. Gardiner. Okay, A.G. Gardiner. He was, you can say, a writer who belongs to two of these great ages. He was born on Victorian age, but he write majority of his works in the modern time or modern age. Okay, so he is basically known for his, you can say, prominent or prolific these modern essay. Okay, so yes, he was a British journalist and author. He was born in 1865. Okay, so you should know that Victorian age, जो Victorian age था, it was from 1835 to 1901, and after 1901 modern age has started. Okay, so both the age have different characteristics. Okay, so the writers who are used to write in Victorian essays, their character or their style of writing is completely different from the modern age writer. Getting it? And the genre that A.G. Gardiner used to write was non-fiction prose. Okay, so it was basically non-fiction prose in modern age. Okay, so it is a sort of category of in modern age which probably ranks as most important. Okay, it is the most important category. Okay, both in quantity and in quality of its practitioners in the essays. Okay, so journalism, philosophy and politics, all those things, they formed an important part of non-fiction prose of the modern writer. Okay, getting it? Majority of, not every, but majority of the journalists, they used to write essays and they have contributed towards non-fiction prose of modern age. Okay, so when we talk about the non-fiction prose of modern age, there is no special or some specific features as we found in the Victorian non-fiction prose. Okay, so there is no such specific features. Okay, it basically depends on the writers, on the essays, that how they write it. Getting it? And when we talk about A.G. Gardiner, he used to wrote under the pen name. Getting it? He used to wrote under a pen name which was Alpha of the Pro. Okay, Alpha of the Po. So what is that? Okay, so Alpha is basically the star. When we say Alpha, Alpha means star. All right. Okay, so alpha means stars. So basically, why he has used this pen name Alpha of the Star? Because he was contributing to the star. Okay, the star, it is basically a sort of newspaper where he was contributing to his essays. Okay, so yes, this star, it has several enormous essayists whose pseudonyms were names of the stars. There were many like him. Okay, so when he was invited to choose the name of the star, गेटिंग इट, कई सारे एसेज उसमें कंट्रीब्यूट करते थे द स्टार में, और सब लोगों ने क्या किया हुआ था, ऑल दीज एसेज दे हैव टेकन द सूडोनियम्स इन द नेम ऑफ स्टार. सो सिमिलरली A.J. Gardiner, he has also chosen it, the name, he has chosen the brightest star or brightest alpha in the constellation, that is the Plo. Okay, how it look like, you have to find it, how this star, the brightest star, the Plo, okay, constellation, how this Plo look like. Getting it? So yes, let's discuss some of his we can say biography of E.G. Gardiner. So he was born in Chelmsford. He was son of Henry James Gardiner. Okay, and his mother name was Susanna Taylor. Okay, so when he was a boy, he started working in Chelmsford Chronicles and Bournemouth Directory. Getting it? And he joined the Northern Daily Telegraph in 1887. Okay, and later he was appointed as editor in the Blackburn Weekly Telegraph in 1899. Okay, and his literary, okay, so yes, he became the editor of Daily News. This choice, it was proved as a success, because under the Gardiner's direction, this this newspaper, it was leading liberal journal. Okay, journal, it was a newspaper, it was a journal, it was a book. Okay, तो जैसे ही जो गार्डिनर है वो एडिटर बनता है डेली न्यूज़ का, ही इम्प्रूव्ड इट्स कवरेज, okay, both of news and literary matters. Okay, and he was also started writing against the social injustice. Okay, so when he became the editor of Daily News, the paper continuously rise. Okay, but after some time he resigned. In 1919, Gardiner resigned from the Daily News because he has some disagreement. Okay, there was some disagreement. All right, so it was from 1915, okay, where he started contributing to the Star. It is really important, you can write it. Okay, whatever I'm telling you, you just write it. Have a notebook with you whenever you're hearing this lecture, and started writing each and everything. Okay, just pause the video in the middle, then write it, then play it, then write it. Getting it? So yes, from 1915 he started contributing to the Star. And yes, when he contributed to the Star, he used the pseudonym Alpha of the Blue. Okay, so yes, this was a little biography of A.G. Gardiner. Okay, so let's see the next slide. Yes, we will talk about his essays. Okay, how his essays. Okay, and one thing make it clear that maybe one question may arise about his prose style. How was the prose style? Okay, how he used to write the essays. Okay, a question may arise. Describe the prose style of Gardiner. All right. So yes, we know this fact that A.G. Gardiner, he was a journalist. And when a journalist, okay, we can say rather a reputed journalist, when he write an essay, his essay are marked by the fare of a journalist. He will write the essay like a journalist. Okay, but yes, at the same time, his essays, they are a source of pure pleasure to the readers. Getting it? In his essay, he presented himself. He has taken a role of a preacher and a moralist. Okay, he was like a preacher. He was describing the odds of the society. Okay, so it was, we can say, his ability that he can teach the basic truth of life in his essay, but in an easy and amusing manner, with an elegance and humorous way. Getting it? So yes, his essay, they are filled with humors. Okay, there is a note of pleasant humor. And yes, there are occasionally satirical touches also in the essays. Okay, but the spirit of the humor, it is never ended. Okay, we know that his literary career, it extends from Victorian age to the modern age. So yes, it has the blend of both of the characteristics of the both of the ages. Okay, and his essay, they depict a cheerful and optimistic deliverance. And these two qualities, they make him the significant writer of his age. Okay? So his essay, they are not very complicated or very tricky, not very difficult language. Not in very difficult language he wrote his essays, but rather they provide, or he write on the trivial matters, very simple matters, very petty, very small matters, which everyone faces in day-to-day life, where they are not very important. The examples he take from society, they are not very important, they are less important, not of that great significance. But so yes, he write in the trivial issues which everyone faces in his life. Okay, so yes, we have already discussed this, that he looks at the oddities of life. Okay, सो जितनी भी ऑडीज लाइफ की होती हैं, जितनी भी ऑड, ठीक है, चीज़ें लाइफ की होती हैं, ही रोट और ही रादर लुक ऑन देम विद अ डाइवर्सिफाइड पर्सपेक्टिव एंड देन ब्यूटिफाई हिम, ब्यूटिफाई देम. How? By adding the elegance and humorous sense. Okay? Elegance, the simplicity के साथ वो लिखा करते थे, with very much elegant language. Okay? He rather laughs at the follies of people and satires his own defects. All right? He corrects people's mistakes without ridiculing them or without hurting their feelings. Getting it? So ये जो essays थे, जितने भी ऐसे जो A.D. गार्डनर हैं, G. गार्डनर हैं, उन्होंने द स्टार में कंट्रीब्यूट करे अंडर द pseudonym of Alpha of the Plough. They are really incredible and noteworthy. Okay, we can take a great example of On Saying Please. It's really great essay in which Gardiner highlights the need of cultivating good manners. If you have time, okay, if you're feeling little bored sometimes, you can just read it. Why we should have these manners. Okay, it is really a great essay. He has this role of preacher in it. Okay, he's showing, he's rather making us believe in the practice of a civilized person. He is a sort of moralist in it. Getting it? So yes. Okay, so what we were saying, that he satirize people without hurting their feelings. Okay, so essayist, what he does, he speak on the morality of life and human interests that play a vital role in defining one's character. Okay, so yes. And yes, one of the feature that he used is that he used personal anecdote. What is that? The personal stories, incident that happened with him. Okay, so what he do, it is one of his outstanding quality, that their majorities of the essay, they are spiced with their personal anecdote, with his personal anecdote. Okay, so yes, almost in every essay of Gardner there is some personal anecdote through which he established basically we can say a rapport with his readers. He maintained a relationship with his readers. Getting it? So this was little information about the essays. All right, let's see the next slide. Okay, I think we can we can now start reading the essay. Okay, so yes, the essay that had been included in in your syllabus is the fellow traveler. Okay, he is talking about the fellow traveler. Okay, fellow is somebody with whom जो तुम्हारा साथी है. Okay, you are going on a journey and one of this person, he's sitting just next to you, he become your fellow in that travel. Traveler क्या होता है? Traveler is the one who is traveling with you. Okay, so let's start this great essay, A Fellow Traveler. I do not know which of us got into the carriage first. So when they are talking about carriage, they are talking about you can say okay. So carriage आप कह सकते हैं. आपने ट्रेन्स देखी होगी. ट्रेन्स के जो डिफरेंट सेक्शंस होते हैं, जो पैसेंजर जहाँ पे बैठते हैं, ठीक है, उन सेक्शंस को आप क्या बोलते हैं? कैरेज बोलते हैं. ओके, आप कैरेज किसी और चीज़ को भी बोल सकते हैं. किसी भी मूविंग पार्ट ऑफ अ मशीन जो आपको एक प्लेस से दूसरी जगह ले जा रही है, उसको भी आप कैरेज बोल सकते हैं. गेटिंग इट? तो यहाँ पे हम कैरेज किसकी बात कर रहे हैं? ट्रेन के जो अलग अलग सेक्शंस होते हैं, हम उसकी बात कर रहे हैं. ओके, सो यस, I do not know which of us got into the carriage first. Okay, he is talking about his fellow traveler. Okay, the one who was traveling with him. Okay, so he is saying कि I do not know कि हम दोनों में से कैरेज में सबसे पहले कौन आया. Indeed, I do not know he was in the carriage at all for some time. और वो कहता है कि if to be honest, I can say that I even do not know that he was in the carriage. शुरुआत में उसे पता ही नहीं था कि he was also traveling with him. Okay, it was the last train from London. Okay, so it is one of those train which gives you an understanding of eternity, that it is this never ending journey. Okay, because it is walking so slow. Okay, it is the train, it is traveling so slow, it is stopping in the distance. So it is the sort of feeling that you have. Okay, this feeling of eternity, that this journey is never going to end. So it was tolerably full when it started, but as we stopped at the suburban station, the travelers alighted in one and two, and by the time we had left the outer ring of the London behind, I was alone, or rather thought I was alone. ठीक है, तो क्या हुआ था, जैसे ही हमने स्टार्ट किया था, ये जो जर्नी जो थी स्टार्ट करी थी, तो तब तक से तो क्या था, इट वॉज फुल, इट वॉज टॉलेरेबली फुल. जितना आप टॉलरेट कर सकते हैं उतनी वो फुल थी. जब ये स्टार्ट हुई थी तो धीरे धीरे क्या होने लगा, जैसे जैसे जब हम बीच बीच के जो छोटे छोटे सब अर्बन स्टेशन है, जब वहाँ पे हम बीच में स्टॉप हुए एंड ट्रेन जो रुकी थी, तो धीरे धीरे क्या होने लगे, जो ट्रैवलर्स हैं वो उतरने लगे, और जैसे जैसे दे हैव लेफ्ट द आउटर रिंग ऑफ द लंदन, आई वॉज अलोन. ठीक है, तो ट्रेन जो थी एकदम खाली हो गई थी, और राइटर को लगता था कि वो अकेले है. रादर देन आई थॉट आई वॉज अलोन, देर वॉज अ प्लीजेंट सेंस ऑफ फ्रीडम अबाउट बींग अलोन इन अ कैरेज that is jolting noisily through the night. कहता कि there is a pleasant sense of freedom, okay, when you are alone in the carriage. okay, पूरा जो ट्रेन का एक डब्बा है उसमें आप अकेले हैं, वो कहता है कि और ये जो फीलिंग है ये बड़ी ही प्लीजेंट होती है. okay, I don't know if this thing happened to you. okay, and if it is, so maybe you have also feel the same sense of pleasure. okay, the sense of freedom when you are all alone in the carriage. But I don't think so, with so much plethora of population in India, such thing can happen. okay, you never can be alone in the carriage of a train. anyways, so he said it is liberty and unrestrained in a very agreeable form. okay, तो ये क्या है, ये एक liberty है, unrestrained. okay, very agreeable form. You can be agree with me, you can do anything you like, because when you are alone you can do anything. Okay, you can talk to yourself as loud as you please, no one will hear you. Okay, when you are living in a society, when you are speaking in front of people, you have to control yourself. Okay, you cannot speak the way you want to speak. All right, and you cannot speak everything you want to speak. Getting it? So he say there is a liberty in it when you are alone. There is a sense of freedom in it when you are alone. Okay, so yes, what he's saying, as he's saying, then when you are alone, there is a liberty and unrestrained. Okay, so he can do anything he liked. He can talk to himself. ठीक है, खुद से बातें कर सकते हो. And no one will hear you. Okay, no one will hear you. कोई तुम्हें सुनेगा नहीं और तुम्हें चुप नहीं कराएगा. Or they can make cold faces towards you, that how he's talking to himself. You can have that argument out with zones and roll him triumphantly in the dust without fear of a counter stroke. Getting it? You can stand on your head and no one will see you. You can sing, dance a two-step, or practice a golf stroke, play marbles on the floor without let or hindrance. Okay, I don't know what the writer is doing in his spare time. Getting it? So yes, I don't know if you people do like this. If you're alone and you're doing anything, like you're singing loudly, or you're standing in your head, okay, or you're doing other things, the stuff of kids. Okay, so yes, writer is saying that there is an unprecedented liberty when you are alone. Okay, you can do anything. You can do anything. You can stand on your head and no one will see you. You can sing or dance, or rather practice a golf stroke, play marble. You can do anything. You can even open the window, shut it without provoking a protest. Okay? कई लोगों को प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है ना, वेन एवर यू आर ट्रैवलिंग इन अ टैक्सी, और अगर ठंड का टाइम हो एंड यू वांट टू ओपन द विंडो एंड मेजॉरिटी पीपल लाइक ओके नो जस्ट क्लोज द विंडो, वी कैन नॉट सफर दिस कोल्ड वेव्स ऑफ विंड्स. गेटिंग इट? ये होता है ना तुम्हारे साथ भी कि वेन एवर यू आर ट्रैवलिंग इन टैक्सी this thing happen. So he say then when you are alone, imagine it, if you are traveling alone in the taxi and you can do anything you want. You can open both the window, okay, or shut both. So when this is the summer season, you need to open the window, okay, but you do not want to open it, you want to close it, but majority people are like no, it's very warm inside, just open the window, and you have to open it. Getting it? So yes, this is the liberty the writer is talking about. You can do anything. You do not need to behave. Getting it? When you are alone, you do not need to behave in front of people. Okay, so you can have any corner you choose. कहीं पे भी बैठ सकते हो. Okay, this is the sort of festival of freedom. Okay, you can celebrate it. You can lie at full length on the cushions and enjoy the luxury of breaking the regulation. Getting it? You can enjoy the luxury of breaking the regulation. This is what our society is bounded with regulation. There are certain regulation which has been imposed upon us that we cannot behave, okay, beyond those regulation. There are certain regulation according to which we have to act. But writer said that when there is nobody to see you or to watch you or keep an eye on you, you can break those regulation. And even possibly the heart of DORA. Okay, what is this DORA? DORA is the acronym. It is Defense of the Realm Act. Okay, it was the act which has been enacted in 1914 in Britain. Okay, so this sort of act nowadays it is enacted in China, and can you believe that we are living in 21st century and there is a moral code of conduct that how a citizen should behave. Getting it? And according to that, they are presenting the marks to them. Imagine a society in India where you will have attained a plus or negative marks while behaving in a society. Can you imagine this sort of a society? Getting it? So in 1914, there was an act in Britain, and this act was a way to control their citizens' behavior during World War One. Getting it? This was 1914. It was the period of World War. So yes, there were many restrictions on people, that what a person can do and what cannot, and how a person should behave in public places, especially on railways. Getting it? So DORA, it was a sort of defense act. Okay, it is implied to control their citizen behavior. And you can Google it. China, it is doing the same thing now in the 21st century. All right. So yes, this first para we have completed, and we will continue tomorrow. Okay. God bless.